So we live now.
Good evening. Again, it's the voice. How is everybody? I hope y'all had a wonderful day. Hope y'all didn't get wet this evening. It's really wet outside. I don't know if it's wet all over the world, but I know it's wet in DC and Maryland so far. However, I'm here today with Rodriguez, which we are the future of YouTube entertainment and videos and so forth. What I want to talk about is the fight this weekend. Shakur Stevenson versus Jamil Henry, former Marine. Wow. He didn't show the former Marine. He didn't show no type of ferocity in the ring. He didn't fight at all. It's like, to me, he just sold his title to Shakur Stevenson. But before I go far, what was your take on that, Reed?
Well, I thought that Shakur Stevenson put on a master boxer performance. And it reminded me kind of when Mayweather beat the hell out of Tor Gotti, or when he beat the hell out of, what's the tall guy? Diego Corrales. It was one
Diego
of those,
Chico Corrales.
Yeah, it was one of those whoopings that he gave him. Very dominant performance. When I had texted Kareen because I was watching the fight. Halfway through the third round, he was dominating so bad that I told Kareen, I said, he gonna stop him. I doubt just going distance.
And I didn't believe he would stop him. I had faith in Jamil Hearn. I thought Jamil Hearn had learned enough knowledge from Terrence Crawford that he would be able to go out there and use that jab because he had the height. He got the reach. I thought that he would use his jab, his 1-2, his uppercut hook, right hand, you know what I mean? I thought he would do the things that would put him ahead of Shakur, and he would beat Shakur on points with just jab and 1-2 and body shots alone. But however, he didn't go in there and he didn't perform the way he performed on all the other guys he beat, such as Lamont Rose Jr., such as a couple of other notable fighters. I can't call their names right now because I only seen Jamil fight a couple of times, and I do know he was Olympian. He came out the Olympics with Earl Spence and Rashid Warren and a lot of those guys. So I guess it was just shocking to see him lose to Shakur Stevenson. Because to me, Shakur Stevenson is not all that great of a fighter to me. However, he got a little bit of hand speed. He got a little bit of defense. He got a nice selection of punches. But I was looking for Jamil Hearn to destroy him and end his career, so forth and so forth, so on and so on. But it didn't happen that way. But Jamil will bounce back. Every great fighter, every champion will bounce back. And again, as Roy Jones said before, boxers are legends. Legends do it over and over and over, again and again and again. Legends are remembered for unforgettable boxing and unforgettable fights. And Jamil Hearn, he will be back. He'll be back big. I would love to see him rematch Shakur Stevenson. I believe in a rematch. I believe he'll have it all together right here. And I think he will block out with that friendship they have. Because to me, I believe it was like he just sort of just sold that belt to Shakur and his team. They were friends before they went in the ring, and they were friends while they in the ring. They actually fought like friends to me. I didn't like the way Jamil was looking. He didn't fight at all. So hopefully in the rematch he'll avenge that loss and he'll beat Shakur in a rematch. And I really was hoping that he was gonna beat Shakur, not only for a victory for himself, but for a victory for the innocent man and woman that Shakur Stevenson and David Grayton had beat up real bad in Florida for nothing. They beat a woman up and a man up for nothing. Yes. The boxer that Virginia and New Jersey is cheering for and rooting for, and people putting money behind them. Yes. Him and David Grayson beat up a man and a woman for nothing. So not only would have been a victory for Jamel Hearn, it would have been a victory for those innocent people, especially that woman that they put their hand on. That was very wrong. And I never forget that. And everything I'm telling you, I saw on the video. If you type in the episode when David Grayson and Shakur Stevenson had jumped the man and woman, the video will come up on YouTube. Now, I'm going to allow Reek to put something on air that he may have noticed from the fight, or something else that may be coming up upcoming.
Well, so the street fight, I like to say this: when those guys were young, we done a lot of stupid stuff when we were young. You know, we might have got into a fight with a guy in the mall, down the street, or whatever. And I feel like those guys, I'm not sure how Dave Grayson was at the time, but Shakur Stevenson was a teenager at the time, so I feel like he made a mistake. And he's going to learn from the mistake and mature.
I would like to correct something, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just in case you didn't know this, my brother, Reek. Shakur Stevenson was a featherweight champion at that time when he put his hand on this man and this woman. David Grayson was already 13 and was already something like 13 or 15-1. He had just lost to. He had just got stopped by a guy on Friday Night Fights, ESPN. So they were well going on with their careers. So at the end of the day, when you are a boxer, big or small, big name or little name, you are an icon. You are a figure that people look up to. So therefore, you must conduct yourself as a professional person in the ring and out the ring. They had no right to do that. Your hands are requisite. They took advantage of that man and woman for nothing, especially that woman. How would they feel if somebody would did their mother like that, or their daughter like that, or their little sister, or their little niece, or their aunt, or their wives or girlfriend? I mean, that wasn't called for. It is no excuse for that kind of behavior. I'm sorry. I don't make excuses for people. I keep it real. I don't even make excuse for myself. But I can tell you that I have never in my life put my hand on a woman. I never wanted to put my hand on a woman. I never desired to do nothing like that. I was raised better than that. Men that's putting their hand on women today, I'm gonna tell you, you are going to come across one of these young women who got the right father, who's going to come and see you about that at the right time. I'm telling you, Javante Davis, Shakur Stevenson, yeah. I'll be glad when both of y'all get beat. I can't wait. I mean, because it's not going to just be a victory for the fighter, for the women that y'all can put your hand on. Moving on, we have the fight coming up. With Rolando Romero versus Javante. I don't call him Tang, and I don't even want to call him Javante. In fact, I'm gonna call him Geneva because he hit women, and I don't got no respect for a man that put their hand on women. So they have a fight coming up December 5th. I believe it's in LA. I think it's gonna be at the Staples Center or maybe the Costas Center if I go by the Fight Facts and in the event that we having the show, I can go to the Fight Facts and find out where the event and everything like that. I don't. What I didn't agree with the other day. At the weigh-in at the press tour was that Javante had a nerve to call Rolly Romero trash. He had a nerve to try to talk bad about his fur coat on and what shoes he had on or whatever. At the end of the day, stuff that stuff on the surface don't matter. What matters is when y'all two meet each other in the room. Secondly, you Javante Davis, you know what? You also threaten him and his team by saying this stuff about, yeah, if y'all was in the streets, they would have been spoke. I mean, like, are you a boxer? Are you a professional person, or are you a child or street thug wannabe? Because I don't even understand, like, what do the streets and somebody get smoked got something to do with boxing? You're at a weigh-in. It's supposed to be face to face, talk about what you're going to do to him, tell him what he's going to do to you, and it's going to be a great fight and for the fans, and it's sort of catering to the fans at that moment. But all this making threats, I'm gonna tell you, if Rolly Romero and his team and his family who were there, or his family who heard this, they would go and have them attorney, and they would go file charges on you and have you arrested for threats. You basically just threatened his life and everybody else's life when you said that. That right there, that's not called for. This is boxing. This is sport. People pay to see entertainment. People don't pay or to hear all that street thug stuff. Ain't nobody care about that. I mean, that is very ignorant. I mean, and that right there, more just explains to me how immature and ignorant you are, Javante. Like, I mean, really, man, you have a lot of growing up to do. You call yourself a professional? No, you're not a professional. And again, anybody who invests money in you, anybody you to watch you, any trainer or friends who hang around you, you know what? I truly question their morals and mentality, because they are just like you, sick. It is no way I would train you or manage you. I would have been kicked you through the curb if I was Al Heyman. I would have been kicked you through the curb if I was Mayweather and whoever else. Okay, you got a problem. You need to grow up. I honestly believe that.
Everybody saying, I believe in unconditional growth. And not virtue, I was in the handle. I get it back.
You guys might have down there. Go ahead.
You don't have love. Because you just thought, I say everybody grow up and be able to do it. That means constantly, which happens to me in country.
You can stay though.
Maybe better you black.
My apologies, United States and YouTube viewers that's listening to what we were saying. Unfortunately, it was a lady asking questions, so we were trying to assist. We were trying to assist and assess what she was talking about, and we gave her the undivided attention at the moment. Apologize for allowing that to interrupt what I was giving y'all. Again, definitely apology, and I hope y'all accept my apology for that. But back to what I was saying. Threats, the streets, like, what did that got to do with you fighting him? What do his fur coat or what he had on got to do with you fighting him? Again, like, I'm gonna just say this, Javante, you are a poor excuse for a professional, or if you call yourself a man, whatever you call yourself. You're a poor excuse, for real. I mean, you are the worst person I've ever seen and met in my life. And I'm just gonna keep that real. And also, I want to let Baltimore know something too. I want to let Baltimore know something too about you. Okay. Back in 2012, when American came to Convention Center to fight Lamont Peterson, you were standing up behind me and my wife, which me and my wife had front row seats. Q section, Q row 7 section, seat 65. Me and my wife had front row seats to the fight. You were standing up with the guys from DC from Headbangers. So I'm rooting for Americana. I remember like yesterday. You had a nerve to ask me, "Hey, ain't you from DC? Why you rooting for Americana?" And I turned around and told you and the rest of those young men and Headbangers, which y'all were standing them and didn't have no chairs, which I still don't understand why y'all even talking to me. Y'all don't even have a seat to sit down. But you got something to say about who I'm rooting for, or who me and my wife are rooting for. Well, you know, you asked me why am I rooting for him, and I let you know, Javante, before I even knew your name, that hey, I paid money. I paid my money for front row seats to come watch America to enjoy the fight with me and my wife. And so then you come out your mouth, which you are very guilty of speaking crazy, because you even told me that day that, oh, listen, all that what you said, listen, I'm from 58. You know, I'm from 58. You know, whole time you was lying saying you from 58 because you was trying to fit in. But coming to find out all the while, you from Baltimore, Maryland. Excuse me, I had to call. So you tried to approach me with this old thug stuff, you from 58. And so my wife, being a very intelligent wife that she is, graduated from multiple schools, very knowledgeable. Like, she's knowledgeable on the fly. She ain't got to go to a book. She ain't got to go to Google. Like, literally, you know what I'm saying? She handed you many seats to sit in with this one. She told you, oh, she said to you, oh, so you from 58? What 58 used to be? Why you trying to claim it as your set? You couldn't tell my wife what 58 was. You literally slipped up and said 58 used to be the monument. You said of a set that you claiming, and you didn't even know that 58 used to be a farce. But you claiming a set that you ain't know what it used to be. You don't even know your history. And then come to find out, you a big liar. You from Baltimore, Maryland. But you was down here trying to fit in. So from that moment on to your behavior all the way up to date, it's all connects. It's all consistent about you. So you know what? Me personally, I just think that you need to go to jail for a little while. I think for what you did to that woman, I think for your behavior at that jewelry store when you wrote that bad check for $250K and left out there with the people jewelry at that jewelry store in Philadelphia. Also combined with you driving your Ferrari trying to show off from Baltimore and lost control and went into people's car and then kept going on a hit and run. I think you deserve a consecutive sentence. I think you deserve to get time in Florida.
All right, let me see if I can pause it. But we're gonna walk.
I think you deserve to get time in Florida, Philly, and Maryland. I think you deserve a consecutive sentences. It's time for you to go visit a jail cell and get yourself together. Because I gotta be honest with you, you being a professional fighter, it ain't gonna last. Your attitude for boxing is very foul. You're a poor excuse for a black man. Simple as that. I'm gonna come back to y'all. We have to move right now to another location because they're closing down.
You can keep on.
But I'm gonna finish this conversation up with y'all in a second.
Just hold on for a minute. All you gotta do is hold them on. I'll clear your stuff.
Okay, because I got it in my hand too.
Okay.
That's why I say we just pause.
I got you, Cap. Don't worry.
Just hold this. We can do it. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So So right now, we're moving to another location so we can finish up celebrity, gossip, and boxing. No, we talking about boxing, but we talking about respect, morals, and principles, and you know what a mature mentality should be like. You know, be what you show me.
You keep going like well.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna get in there.